Tonight we pray completely. Shelter us with love so sweetly. Tonight, please fight the dangers from our eyes. Please, God, protect me from sorrow.
ובצהלה תוך אמוני העם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה
Be the light inside the darkness, be the hope, burning bright into the night, be the voice, for those who cannot raise it, be the one who leads the way through the world's darkest days, be the light. Be the light, be the light. When days feel long and all that's left inside you our darkest days, reach for the light to guide you. The miracle of change begins with sparks of light we find within that shine. If we come close together, we will see a people strong, a shared humanity. To transform darkness into light, to lead with love instead of fight, we shine. We shine. Be the light. Be the light inside the darkness, be the hope, burning bright into the night, be the voice, for those who cannot raise it, be the one who leads the way through the world's darkest day, be the light, be the light. Be the light. Be the light.
fading away. Just call right out, we'll find a way. From a narrow place to a wide open space. From a narrow place to a wide open. From a narrow place to a wide open space. From a narrow place to a wide open Min habitar karatia. Min habitar karatia.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you for... Wow, it's nice to hear people in the room. Shabbat, this is Lucy. It's Sisterhood Shabbat, so naturally my niece should be here singing with me. You know. So we're going to start Shir Ladonai. We have these new screens, so if you're here, you might be able to see them. I'll give page numbers after this throughout the night. Shir Ladonai. Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz. Shiru Ladonai shir chadash. Try that with me, Shiru. Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz. Shiru Ladonai shir chadash. Lucy. Welcome to our sisterhood service. I want to say at the beginning that all music, every single piece of music that you will hear tonight that is set to prayers is written by women Jewish composers. And before I officially continue, I just really would like to highlight that when we started the sisterhood service 4 or 5 years ago, we, as a temple, were not doing majority of women-composed music. And today, as we put this music together, it was very, very easy because most of the music we do is now done by contemporary Jewish women composers. So, sisterhood exists, and it's truly powerful. It's the strength of a united force, one that's immediate with the women you surround yourself with, and one that's universal with your sisters from around the world. Sisterhood creates a space of nourishment and love, a place to celebrate your everyday joys and triumphs, and one to hold one another when joy seems so far away. Sisterhood is where you are supported when you are at your most vulnerable. It's a space to listen and to be heard, for both the laughter and where you ask for help. Sisterhood is surrounding yourself with women whose energy ignites your spirit, a space to grow and flourish. It is listening without judgment, without needing to give advice. It's allowing women to be beautifully real and fearlessly be themselves. Sisterhood exists, and it is truly powerful. It's a force that, when it's awakened, has the power to heal both one another and the world around us. If you're here in person, you probably have a packet with all of this poetry that you can take home and that you'll be hearing tonight. If you're online, I believe that Tanaz has put a link so that you can follow along with the poetry too. So why are we here? In January 2017, almost 50 Temple Emanuel of Beverly Hills women joined at the Women's March to make our voices heard. After many years, that moment marked the beginning of our new Sisterhood of Emanuel. I will tell you, it's hard work, but it's important work. And it was even hard during, well, of course it was hard during a global pandemic. But this year, we have had 5 wonderful events. Starting with our Sisters in the Sukkah annual gathering during Sukkot, we apprehensively came out of our COVID holes to embrace each other and enjoy a sweet etrog martini. We ventured forward with a wonderful event in which our board member, Jackie Casorla, taught us to make the most adorable pumpkin succulents. You can see some pictures on your handouts. As our world appeared to look more steady, we planned some more Sunday events. Build Your Girlfriend team was filled with art and laughter as our congregant Rita Eichenstein helped us to explore the chemical enhancements of surrounding ourselves with women. And in March, we gathered for a dynamic conversation with Dr. Michelle Kalt and registered dietitian Rebecca Berg to discuss how we can take a more conscious awareness of our physical and mental selves. Tonight, we celebrate each of you who attended our events. We say thank you for pushing us to move forward. Thank you to Michelle Redston, who has volunteered to start Mahjong here on Mondays. The greatest way that I can express gratitude is to invite up the dedicated members of the Sisterhood Steering Committee to help us to bring in the light of Shabbat. Michelle Aaron, Melissa Greenspan, Michelle Redston, Marge Churchick, Susan Levine, and Riddell Simon. In advance, I'm also going to thank Marta Waller, who will be sharing some special words with us later. If you have a prayer book underneath your book, it's the thinner, underneath your seats, the thinner of the 2 books. It says Mishkan Tefillah, prayer book for Shabbat. We're on page 2 and 3, although we will be singing this special version of the Candle Blessing by Stacy Beyer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת blessed are you who command us to kindle the light of Shabbat. Thank you to our amazing committee. I'm going to invite Michelle Aaron to share her poem, which I skipped over.
Self-love. Self-love is a revolution that every atom in your body is searching for. You are not small, you are not unworthy, you are not insignificant. The universe wove from you a constellation, just so, atom. Every fiber in you comes from a different star. Together, you are bound by stardust, altogether spectacularly created by the energy of the universe itself. And that, my darling, is the poetry of physics, the poetry of you.
We take a few moments to look back on the poetry of you as we explore where we were last Friday night, last Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. After all, Shabbat helps us to mark the passage of time. So I invite everyone to take just a few moments to reflect on your week. Pleased to invite up Riddell Simon, who is going to read a piece that she wrote herself. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I've never done one.
You're taller than us. There you go.
If I hold it?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Right here.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay. What I learned when I turned 30. A close friend introduced me to a woman's therapy group designed to teach us about our own self-care. My marriage had recently dissolved, and I had never participated before in something like this, nor had I ever worked with a therapist. At the end of the first meeting, we were given an assignment to complete for the next session. She asked us to make a list of the shoulds in our lives. Due to my good girl compliant nature, I typed 2 full pages of all the shoulds that I carried. I was very curious about what this all meant. The next meeting, we were assigned to write down the person's name who owned each should. This exercise taught me how to stop and recognize my own best choices. Who owns your shoulds?
Thank you, Riddell. We continue with another song for Shabbat, Mizmor Shir on page 22. I would like to remind everyone this is by cantor Natalie Young, one of our favorite composers and cantors here at Temple Emanuel. She'll actually be doing a concert here this coming year, so this is Mizmor Shir. Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot laDonai. Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat, uzamer leshimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chasdecha ve'emunatcha baleilot. Alei atzor va'alei vanavel, alei gayon vechinar. Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat, ulezamer leshimcha. Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat, ulezamer leshimcha elyon. Kisimchtani Adonai b'po'alecha, b'ma'aseh yadecha anein. Ma gadlu ma'asecha Adonai, me'od amku machshevotecha. Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot laDonai. Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat, ulezamer leshimcha elyon. We continue as we welcome the bride of Shabbat, L'chadodi, on page 20. L'chadodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat ekabela. L'chadodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat ekabela. Shamu v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmiyanu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, Shemo tiferet ve'litila. L'chadodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat ekabela. L'chadodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat ekabela. Verse 5. Hitoreri, toreri, ki va'orech u'miori. Uri, uri, shir daveri, kivod Adonai alayich nigla. L'chadodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat ekabela. L'chadodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat ekabela. We rise and face the entrance. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha u'sohola. Toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. L'chadodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat ekabela. L'chadodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat ekabela. I invite up Marge Churchick to share another poem.
This is called A Work in Progress by Raina Betty. Accept yourself as a work in progress. Then continue to build yourself into the person you're dreaming to be. The person you have all the potential to be. Accept your flaws. Accept your truths. Accept your past. And make light of them. No one can tear you down if you make peace with who you are and where you've been, if you're going to focus on the negative at all. Focus on turning the negatives into positives. Focus on growing. Sometimes, oftentimes, our minds are the scariest place to sit. It'll trick you into comparing yourself to others, and it'll trick you into believing you aren't good enough. But you are. You have always been, and you always will be. You're much more powerful when you believe in yourself. If you don't love all of you, who will? Give yourself time to blossom.
Thank you, March. I invite everyone to rise for this special rendition of Baruch Hu by Chava Morel. Close your eyes. The Baruch Hu is a prayer that is our call to action. With the little kids on Fridays, I say, "Are you ready to pray?" And they say, "Yeah, I'm ready to pray." This is a little bit of a prettier version of that, but we continue with Baruch Hu on page 28. Try that with me as you get ready to pray. Let's try that one more time. Do-do-do. Everyone can do it. Do-do-do. Come, all of you. Come, all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Come, come, all of you. Come, all of us, and bless the one who blesses. Blessed is the blessed one. Blessed is the giver of blessing. Blessed in this moment now and every now to come. Blessed is the blessed one. Blessed is the giver of blessing. Blessed in this moment now and every now to come. Come, all of you. Come, all of us, and bless I should preface this as you can see. First of all, you may be seated. That I'm the only clergy here tonight. So I want to say thank you in advance for Michelle, who is going to step in and be an extra voice.
Pretend clergy.
You have a lot of experience. So she's going to join us for Shema and Ve'ahavta. All of a sudden, I thought you were reading your poem. On page 34, we'll continue into page 36. This is Shema and Ve'ahavta by the one and only Debbie Friedman, who certainly, if Debbie Friedman did not exist and didn't push through the crowds in the 70s and make her music known and accessible, so much of the music that we sang tonight would not be here. So we sing this in true memory of Debbie Friedman. Her memory is a blessing each and every time we sing her music. Shema all your soul and with all your might. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart, and you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you're sitting in your house, when you're walking by the way, and when you're rising up, and when you're lying down, and when you rise up, and you shall bind them as a sign upon your hand. They shall be for frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God. If you'd like to join me with the poem on page 39, we're on page 39. Please say this with me. Our intro to Micha Mocha, our song for freedom. the most famous blessing that was sung by women, led by Miriam. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. That there's a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Our way through our Shabbat evening service. If you're familiar with evening services, it pretty much is the same every single night. But then we take a moment on Shabbat to remember, as it says in this week's Torah portion, that we must guard and keep Shabbat. And that is why we sing Vishamru, only on Shabbat. So this is Vishamru. You are on page 44. This is by Cantor Marsha Ati. Sing with me. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam Israel, invite up Dina, yes, there she is, to share another piece.
Another short person.
Every heart's a hurricane, each soul a starlit sea, every mind's a meteor unbound by gravity, and everybody's wishing they could learn to tame their tides when nothing more than nature is what's echoing inside. Every life's a lightning bolt, yet everyone's told no, bite back all your thunder and don't let the wild things show. Every heart's a hurricane, everyone a world within, every life too short for loathing any storms beneath your skin.
With those powerful words, I ask you to please rise for the core of our service, the Amidah, on page 46. Michelle and I will help lead in this first line, Adonai Sephatai, and then please take time for your own thoughts and prayers. Adonai Tzvatai Tifta Adonai Tzvatai Tifta Ufi Yadid Tehilatecha Ufi Yadid Adonai Tzvatai Tifta Adonai Tzvatai Tifta Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Ufi Tonight we're going to continue with Misha Berach, our prayer for healing. A little bit of a different melody written by Cantor Lisa Levine, who is very influenced by Debbie Friedman. In between, we will take names for those who need some extra healing prayers right now. Also on Facebook and YouTube. And thank you to Michelle and Melissa in advance for helping with reading the names and taking the names from everyone here tonight. Sheperach Avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzhak, veYaakov. Mi sheperach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, remember in our community, we pray for healing for Avraham Lev ben Shoshana, Linda Barad, Shirley Block, Jean-Claude Berthet, Shalom Bluestein, Bernard Birnbaum, Lester Boxer, Leo Carlin, Eitan Chaim, Woody Clark, Joseph Cohen, Yosef Ben Shimon Buffet, Tamara Deverell, Patty Goodman, Andy and Helene Hale, Lori Haynes, Dora Kamara, Sis Klein, Russell Kunkel, Ira Loffer, Marissa Bat Yaakov Reuven Verifka Adina, Daniel Papp, Ariel Pepper, Meryl Prop, Rachel Bat Chana V'Chaim, Chaya Rachel Bat Carmi Adina, Harav Aharona Bat Svia Veyosef, Bud Reinfeld, Warren Roston, Ruth Schwartz, Rhoda Sharp, Jolie Simon, David Stein, Paul Velick, Paula Warner, Sonia Ann Wegge, and Theodore, friend of Sheila Merowitz. Those in the room, please share your names.
Susan Crown.
Susan Haas.
Cece Noodleman.
Stephen Coonan.
Roger Scott.
Marlene Behrens, Marlene Wasserman, Howard Wasserman.
Alana Ackerman Hirsch.
Gwen Whitten.
Karen Glantz.
Paul McGill, Dromey, Barry, and Ellie Goldstein.
Jonathan Aaron, Anna Marie Joni.
O and B Berman, the students and staff of Luis Munoz Rivera Middle School. Solomon Vas Diaz, Tony Dow, Mordechai Ben Miriam, Chaya Sura Bat Rachel Leah, Hannah Leah Bat Chaya Sura, Malka Bat Ruchel, Menachem, Chuck Rorich, Menachem Mendel Ben Avraham Vepenina, Alana Ackerman Hirsch, Lupe Hessel, and Audrey. Mi sheberach avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzhak, veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, veRachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Thank you. I would like to invite up a special member of our community. Everyone is special, but tonight Marta is special. Marta Waller is coming to share some words, right? Come on up. Am I surprising you? No. You can come over here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Before I start my self-care for the evening, I washed my tennis shoes so no one would be offended. It was a big
Her
deal.
self-care.
The fact that I'm still wearing tennis shoes is largely because most of my shoes are in Chicago. It's another story for another time. Let me start with saying that this is directed largely to the women, with the understanding that men have taken on a very large and significant role in life in general and with children and with families, but mostly it's women. One of the things I want to start out by saying is, let's start with Hillel. If not now, when it comes to self-care? Women are traditionally the keepers of birth and death and everything in between. It is baked into our DNA. We take care of everyone. And if there's a smidgen of time left over at the end of the day, we might jump in a hot shower for 5 minutes and call it self-care. And that isn't the way it's supposed to work. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 34 is very clear. Love your neighbor as yourself. How many people here think their neighbors would be thrilled with the kind of love that you give yourself? Probably not many, because we are so busy taking care of everyone else. You know, think about life as a woman, whether you have children or not. And I mean, most of us here have lived through marriage and children and grandchildren, and we do everything. I mean, we birth the children, we nurture them, we kiss their little owies. And I read something very interesting. Rabbi Jonathan Rudnick in Kansas, I believe. He had said, and I read that, I did a fair amount of research. I have my own views on this, but I did some research, and he had said, you know, this business about taking care of yourself. And he said, you're not responsible for another's feelings. You care, but responsibility is theirs alone. And how often do we as women get caught up in believing that we'll be happy as soon as everyone else is happy? The truth is that mothers are only as happy as their unhappiest child. The day you can let go of that, your unhappiest child will learn how to be happy. And I'm going through this now with all three of my daughters. This one has an issue, that one has an issue. And finally, I stopped and I thought, wait a minute. These kids are in their 40s. But we do that. So when it comes to self-care, I discovered, first of all, in terms of halakha, we are doing the wrong thing if we don't take care of ourselves. That's number one. We're kind of commanded to take care of ourselves. And it can be something as little as setting, you say, I don't have time. Set your alarm 5 minutes early. And what do you do in that 5 minutes? You take care of yourself. You pray, you meditate, read a chapter, or set 10 minutes in the middle of the day. And there are different things at different stages of your life that you can do. If you have an infant, the old saying, nap when your baby naps. Oh, but I have to clean the house. No, you don't. The mess will still be there. Trust me. It'll be there with the first kid, the third kid, the grandkid. Nap when the baby naps. That's self-care. You have nothing to give if you don't replenish yourself and restore yourself. Another thing that I had found from Hillel was, if I am not for myself, who will be? It's easy to become the victim and the martyr. I do everything for my family. They do nothing. They don't appreciate it. If there's a lack of appreciation, it's largely because they simply expect you to do everything because you've always done it. And bit by bit, that becomes baked into their DNA. So the idea is to take a little slice of time for yourself. I went to Paris 8 years ago, and I lived there, and I was teaching at the Sorbonne and at a French engineering university. My particular skill was that I spoke English, which was great, except I had students from all over the world, and for them, English wasn't even a second language. It was often a third or a fourth. So, and my French, under the best of circumstances, is awful. So I was exhausted. I mean, I was working very hard. So I started to meditate. And I would stop in the middle of the day, and I would just say to the guy I was working for, George, I have to stop. And 10 minutes later, I would turn around and he'd say, I don't know what you're doing, but you look like you have slept. And I learned that if I took time for me, just for me, it replenished me And then I started doing it, and when I came here to Emmanuel, I started to realize that this replenishment is essential to how I operate in the world, and for women in particular, because we have so many things on our plates, and we take so much on. This is an essential part of our lives, and if not now, when, applies to every single one of us. And as we get older, and as I approach 70, I look at it and think, there's a whole lot less left than there is behind me. And I don't want to spend any of that time caught up in I don't do guilt. Maybe the rest of you do. I don't. I think guilt is insincere and self-serving. It's a way to beat yourself up so that you can feel better about something somebody else has said or done. I think what you do is you move forward in a positive way and you give what you can. But my youngest daughter had her first child 8 years ago today. My eldest grandchild is 8. So Wyatt was born, and Alexa said, I'm taking Mondays for myself, which struck me as an outrageous thing. What do you mean I can't come visit on Mondays? That was her self-care, and she has stuck to it. And she has more to give everyone, her children, her family, everyone, because she put up loving, kind boundaries that have flexibility for emergencies. But you know, we can do that. We're allowed to do those things, and we should, because taking care of ourselves has to come first, or there is nothing left to take care of anyone else. And take a bubble bath, take a shower, take a walk, read a book, but carve the time out for yourself, because it is something that we are commanded to do. You can't love your neighbor as yourself and do it well if you don't love yourself well. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Marta. I will say I could have given like an entire biography of your life, but then it wouldn't have been as interesting. People would have been like, I wonder why she went to Paris, things like that. So please talk to Marta at the dinner after. You can ask her about her entire life. Hold on a second. So, we're at the time of year where we count the Omer. It's a period of 50 days between Passover and Shavuot. It's a period between when we celebrated our freedom and when we received the Torah on Mount Sinai. Just like our theme this year, we go from restrained to open, from Mitzrayim to a sense of openness. This very much applies to what Marta was speaking about. And even in a religion that is very much founded in rules, we're people of the book, we're also, the rabbis, Kabbalists, it goes back many, many years, found that rules can't exist without some sort of spiritual dimension. And so the counting of the Omer has become a spiritual journey. If you listen to Rabbi Aaron's meditations daily, if you've been seeing the Sunday emails, he has been focusing on the counting of the Omer. Every single day has different dimensions. So today is Malchut of Tiferet, sovereignty of beauty. So first, I'm going to invite you to say the blessing for the Omer, and then I'll give a little poem that digs a little bit into what this sovereignty of beauty could possibly mean. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat ha'omer. Blessed are you, God, who gives life to all and gives us the opportunity to count the Omer. Hayom echad ve'esrim yom, shehem shlosha shavuot la'omer. Today is 21 days, which are 3 weeks of the Omer. This is a beautiful poem that I found. If you ever need some inspiration, you can look up the Velveteen Rabbi, who always writes beautiful poetry. Malchut of Tiferet, majesty of beauty. I no longer seek the end of this journey or the comfort of colorful horizons to mark moments of transcendent pause. In fact, I do not look for day or night at all, but the truth that time outwits the most beautiful conveniences, a bottomless source greater than the futility of ending and beginning. As I watch the wonder of my world unfolding, I let my desire for clarity and completeness give way to awareness, that destiny manifests every moment, and that my heart sees what eludes my eye. Departures and delays are the universe's blessed and true arrivals. I look at that poem as a reminder that we have to be in the moment, not always looking at how something begins and ends, but appreciating every single moment. In each moment, we carry with us the memory of loved ones that we have lost. So at this point, we're going to continue with Kaddish Yatom. For those seated here, it's on page 294. In our community, we mark these names of people who have passed within the last 4 weeks. Todd Matzner, Jerry Behrens, Rosalie Geller, mother of Rabbi Laura Geller. We also remember Rose Baumgold, Ron Beckenfeld, Evelyn Cantor, Herbert Harrow, Monia Richmond, Irving Harrow, Cantor Eddie Kroll, Rose Margulis, and Ike Silverheart. If you're in the room and you are in a period of Shiva or Shloshim or Yortzeit, I invite you to rise and share the name. I also invite you to look at our screens as we remember those who have passed during this season. And if you are online, please begin to share the names of your loved ones there.
My grandfather, Zev ben Yitzchak Basima.
My mother, Evelyn Cantor.
My father, Irvin Harrow. My brother, Herbert Harrow. Oh, my grandmother, Mrs. Richmond.
Lauren Davis.
Pamela Mays, Marty Shulman, Jahangir Lavian. And from Facebook, keep writing it in if you're there. I'm sorry, nothing is coming up. We rise for Kaddish on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam alamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dikudesha b'richu, Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all of Israel, to which we say, Amen. You may be seated. I'd like to invite up Melissa Greenspan for one more beautiful poem that we adapted, but she found. She does get the credit. No, I don't. No, you don't. Who gets the credit? Well, we've shared it for many years. Marge, everyone gets credit.
A tale is told of a well-known 20th century Hasidic woman named Malka, who, when she died, went to stand before the judgment seat of God. As Malka waited for God to appear, she grew nervous, thinking about her life and how little she had done. She began to imagine that God was going to ask her, "Why weren't you more like Miriam, a great leader? Or why were you not wiser like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, or braver like Golda Meir?" But when she faced the accounting before God of her life, God simply asked her, "Why were you not more like Malka?"
Thank you. I'm going to ask the Sisterhood committee members to join me for our final song. So please come back on up. We're going to do some announcements first. We can't end a service without announcements. So check up on the screen. I'll do it as fast as I can. On May 15th, we have 2 events that we want to share. The first one is we are going to gather with our partners with 1LA IAF for a public assembly with Los Angeles City, and I can't read that even though I know exactly what it is. With Los Angeles City and county public officials and candidates, Sunday, May 15th at 2:30 p.m. Please RSVP directly to Diane Vanette, who will help you with registration. We would love to get as many congregants as possible to go down, support St. Bridget's Catholic Church, but support this partnership that is making such a big difference in Los Angeles today. And then come meet us for the poker tournament at 5 p.m. That's your reward if you go to the 1LA caucus meeting. So poker tournament's at 5 p.m. I think it's, the best event of the year. Super fun. It raises money for our schools. So please join us at 5 p.m. I wrote something here in it. A week from Saturday, there is a Roe v. Wade, We Won't Go Back, Protect Roe v. Wade walk downtown. One of our teens, Sienna Wolf, is heading up an effort to get our teens to show up. So email Sienna, maybe CC me too, so that I know that you're going. I will be at a bar mitzvah, but then hopefully we'll join. But next Saturday, Saturday the 14th, please join us. Just to put on your calendars, Memorial Day Spark and Barbecue is on May 27th. Is that correct? May 26th? Whatever that Friday is. 27th, it is right. Okay, I should trust it. May 27th, yes. There will be a barbecue at 5:15. The service will be at 6:15. Join us for the barbecue. It's become a great tradition that we've had to take a hiatus for the last couple of years. So please join us. And last but not least, Rabbi Aaron is going to join me on Think About It Thursdays, the last Thursday of, is it the last Thursday? I think we had to change the date. Yes, it is. May 26th at 7 p.m., online only. Did you hear that he said, your mom said something that your cousin heard, who told me in the supermarket as we were buying groceries? This is a conversation about Rabbi Aaron's favorite subject to not talk about, which is Lashon Hara. So please join us. Just save the dates. And Sisterhood Committee, everyone, and Marta, come on up.
I'm going to take the mic for a second. This Sunday, I hear, is Mother's Day, so I can't think of a better thing to do as you're Getting your breakfast in bed is make 10 lunches or even 5 lunches with a sandwich, a snack, a drink. Drop them at my house. The address is in the thing, in the temple bulletin.
Read your highlights.
Since the beginning of the pandemic, we've been making lunches. People make it at their homes so that it's all COVID safe. 22 different organizations come and pick up. At our height, we've served 7,000 people on a Sunday. And it's truly just tragic to me that we have that many mouths to feed, but we constantly, of course, just need more help and more help. So it's a really easy way to participate. You make it at home. It can be anything. We deliver it that day. So, it can be, dairy filled. Okay.
Thank you, Michelle, for doing this for so long. I was privileged to be at a wonderful meeting the other day in which one of our mayoral candidates told us that the census on how many people in Los Angeles are on the streets, it looks like it's going to be 50,000. So we need a lot of work. We have a lot of work to do. I want to say thank you to these amazing women up here for coming up with the programs this year. We celebrate you for coming up with the theme tonight. Thank you to each of you for finding wonderful readings. Thank you to Marta for speaking. Thank you to Elizabeth and Zach and Lori, who became our Unplugged band, became our Sisterhood band. You're officially anointed. Thank you to Zach and Julian. Thank you to Matt for greeting and Robert for keeping us safe. And to Naz for greeting online. And with that, we will close the service with Oseh Shalom. Please feel free to stand up and put your arms around each other. Also, join us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for services. And of course, even if you didn't RSVP for the Sisterhood potluck, there's food in there. Please join us and eat. Yes, and if you want to come up like my niece and sing with me, please do. All right. Here. Yeah, wait, get off for a second. Hold on. I'm going to let you sit. Hold on. All right, here we go. Oh, say shalom. Bin Ramah. Oh, say shalom. Bin Ramah. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Alleluia. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bin Ramah. Oh, say shalom. Bin Ramah. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Alleluia. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Shabbat Shalom. We'll see you at dinner.